Welcome to push and pull. In this practice, I will show you 5 really simple exercises that you can do to bring a little bit more awareness and activation to the muscles that facilitate those push and pull movements. We do a ton of push movements in the yoga asana practice. Handstand, plank, down dog, all the arm balances, right? But when do we get enough of that pull movement activation, or even at all, right? So I wanted to show you some of the drills that I've learned along the way from other teachers and friends, and just things that I've experimented with that really helps to bring some awareness to those pull movements, and hopefully you can walk away with a bit more balance and awareness. So all you'll need for class is a blanket, and you want to ideally be in a space where you have hardwood floor. Now, if you don't, we are going to use that blanket to slide around a little bit. You can do it on carpet, but with paper plates, and that's another alternative to get that sliding action that we want. You'll also need a strap and a foam roller. And I just so happen to have my dog with me, Ziggy, but he blends so well with the couch, so you may not even notice him. So let's get started. Before we begin, we're going to do a little test and retest and use the foam roller as kind of that source of feedback here. So start by just reaching the arms up towards the ceiling, right? We do this in our Tadasana, handstand, down dog. But if you feel limited in how far you can reach up and back, then most likely the ribs will start to jut forward, right? Compensating for the lack of flexion in the shoulders. So just notice you may have to take the arms a little bit wider, or your ribs may want to go forward. So in my case, my arms just go wider a little bit. So kind of notice what you notice, taking all that information in, and then relax and just let that go. All right, so we're going to come back to that, but for now we're going to start with the foam roller. So take the foam roller parallel to the top and bottom of the mat, and you're going to lie on the left side of your body. And take the foam roller. Notice it's not in my armpit, it's just below, okay, along the sides of the rib cage. And then you'll be propped up on the forearm, your bottom leg will be straight, and top foot planted behind. Then from here, start to rock your body forward and back. And we're trying to target more specifically the lat muscles. What's interesting about the lat muscle is that it's on your back, but the sides of the lat, right, it's pretty big. It's like a triangular shaped muscle, connects to your upper arms, on the back of the upper arms. So if this muscle's stuck, right, if it has a lack of mobility as far as length and contraction, or tensile load, contractile load, then it's going to be very hard to do simple movements like reaching the arms overhead and pulling something down. And you can even play with moving a little bit up, a little bit below, to kind of target different areas. All right, so go ahead and come all the way up. As you sit down, try reaching your arms overhead. And I rolled out my right side, which is your left side. And as you notice that my right side is much taller and longer, right? I'm not having to compensate as much to reach towards the ceiling. So now we're going to do that on the other side. So lie on your right side of the body. And you'll be propped up on your forearm, your bottom leg straight, your top foot planted behind. And then rock your body forward and back. I guess Ziggy didn't want to be in front of the camera anymore. He got tired of it. So he went upstairs to lay down. So as you're here, continue rocking forward and back. And as you do so, you may feel kind of some tenderness in there. Just be mindful that you aren't lingering too long on a bone or lingering too long on a painful spot. You can rock a little bit up higher or lower accordingly. Take just 2 more cycles of breath. I personally find rolling out the lats, especially after a long day working on the computer, really just makes a difference in my posture, and any pain or tenderness I may have in the arm or shoulder from kind of slouching and being in that forward position with my arms, head, and upper back. So now come all the way up. You can set the foam roller to the side. and try reaching both arms overhead. And you may notice a bigger difference in how high you can reach and how much further back you can reach without compensating. So now that we kind of woke that area up and felt where our lats were, now we're gonna start to activate a little bit more here. So you'll have your strap and hold it a little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart. Now with the strap, you wanna imagine like you're pulling it apart, like you're gonna tear it in two. Then reach the arms straight up to the ceiling. And since you rolled out the lats, it probably feels a lot easier to reach up without less compensation from the back. So you have that activation of pulling apart. Now I want you to think like you're trying to pull the arm bones down towards the sockets. So you can either reach up like this or you can pull down. And I want you to think about pulling down with those armpits to activate the lat muscles. Then bend the elbows and slide the strap behind your head. Notice my head isn't moving forward. It stays stacked over the rest of the spine. We're gonna reach back up, inhale. Exhale, push forward with your arms and pull apart with the hands, like you're trying to tear it apart. Reach back up, inhale. Before you bend those elbows, pull down with the arm bones, then bend the elbows. So we get that preset activation to kind of set everything up in the body. We're gonna do that a couple more times. Inhale, exhale, reach forward and pull apart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down with the arm bones and bend the elbows, sliding them down. Do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach up, pull apart. Exhale, pull down and bend those elbows. Good, reach back up and let it go. Kind of relax the shoulders a bit. So it's a really good way to bring some activation and awareness. All right, go ahead and unfold your blanket. And again, if you're on carpet, grab your paper plates. So I'm just gonna take my blanket and fold it up so it's not too big. Okay, oh, let's do it this way. Okay, so once you have it folded up, then you're gonna come onto your hands and knees. And I want you to think about keeping your core nice and stable. So we wanna avoid sinking into our back here and letting our belly just kind of fall down. We wanna keep everything kind of zipped up, nice and tight. Doesn't mean you have to suck in your belly or brace, but just think about neutral spine and nice and taut in those muscles, okay? Nice and stable. So once we're here, you can tuck the toes under or keep those toes untucked. Just slide the blanket forward and then pull back. Now you don't need to go super far. A little bit goes a long way, sliding forward and back. You can put a little bend in the elbows as you do this, but you really want to think about firing up right under those armpits as you pull back. If you start to feel this in the lower back, I'm going to show you the side profile view, then it may be a sign that you're using your hips, using your back, versus using your lat muscles. Okay, I mean more your lower back. So I'll show you what I mean. So instead of moving forward and then using your hips to propel those arms back, only allow your arms to move forward. Notice my hips are stationary over the knees and then pull back with the arms. So my range is a lot smaller versus here and here, right? So sliding forward and pulling back. So it's a very controlled movement. Notice the tendency for the shoulder heads to want to roll in and hike up to the ears. Think out, like you're trying to open a jar with both of your hands to the outsides of that blanket, and back. Do that a couple more times. Two more. And you'd be surprised by how just sliding blanket on the hardwood floor can really bring a little burn into the armpits there. All right, so those little blanket slides are another good exercise there. So just for the sake of space, I'm gonna fold my mat in half here, so I have some room. You're gonna lie on your belly. Notice when I lie down, my arms are free off the mat. You can scoot it a little high, but you can scoot down a little bit. So your chest is on the mat, but your arms are free, okay? So now you're gonna unfold your blanket completely, okay? And grab the outer sides of it so it kind of squishes in, it crinkles in as you take your arms together. So I want you to imagine that you're swimming in water, right? And the blanket's going to be that resistance that you would swim through normally. It's kind of like you're doing the breaststroke. So start with the arms forward and your forehead down. You're going to circle the arms out. And as you circle the arms out, take them back, pull back like you would in a cobra pose. Lift your chest, and as you pull back, fire up those lats. So it's not just a lift of the chest, and that's it. It's a lift of the chest, an activation of your back muscles, and activation of your lat muscles. So you're nice and stable and set up here in the body. And then you're gonna slide the arms forward and lower down. We'll do that a couple more times. To give you a bit more support, press down through the tops of the feet, fire up through the glutes, and guide the tailbone back. So slide the blanket out wide, arms out wide. Pull back with the arm bones and feel your elbows drawing towards your hips. So your shoulders are not elevated, they're depressed going back and down. And then slide the blanket forward. We'll do that one more time. Arms out wide, pull back, lift the chest, elbows dragging back. And then slide it forward. Good, now we go in reverse. Pull straight back with those elbows like you would for cobra pose or sphinx pose. Elbows back, chest up. Circle the arms out wide and lower all the way down. We'll do that again. Pull back, lift the chest up. And then take the arms out in front. Final time, or pull straight back. Circle the arms out wide and lower all the way down. Press yourself up onto hands and knees. If you need to unfold your mat, go ahead. And you can set your blanket to the side. Come into downward facing dog. Push the ground away, right? That's where that push movement comes into play. And lift the pelvis up and back. You can find a little bend in the knees or lengthen the legs, but whether or not you touch the heels to the floor is irrelevant. Take a breath in and a breath out. Good. Walk your hands to your feet at the back of the mat. Grab your strap and come all the way up to standing. So I'm just going to fold my strap a couple times because it's extra long. You're more than welcome to do the same. And we're going to use the strap to get those pull movements going out and down. This time though, getting the muscles to be in that contractile and tensile load. One side contracting, one side tensing. So once you have the strap folded up enough to where it's not excess, then you're gonna pull apart with the arms. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling, take a deep inhale. Notice my legs are straight. Exhale, side bend to your right. Good. So once you go as far as you can, bend your knees and see if you can go a tiny bit further. Notice my right arm is pulling down in that contractile load. The left arm is pushing overhead in that tensile load. Then start to side bend down towards the floor until you round down towards the middle. We're gonna go in reverse. So side bend towards your right. Once again, look under your left armpit. And then come all the way up. Good, we're gonna go the other direction. Keep pulling apart and slightly down with those arm bones. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, side bend towards your left. Notice legs are straight. Then once you can't go any further, bend your knees, add on a little bit more range. Continue side bending as you round down towards the floor. Good, and then now we'll go in reverse. So side bend towards your left, look under your right armpit to the ceiling. And then come all the way up. Nice. We're gonna do that again, but this time with the legs a tiny bit wider than the hips and the shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale, side bend to your right. Legs straight still. Bend your knees, see if you can go a bit further, and then continue side bending until you round down to the floor. We'll go in reverse. Side bend to your right, look under your left armpit. And then come all the way up. Good. We'll go in the other direction one final time. Legs straight to start, side bend towards your right, or towards your left rather. Then bend your knees, see if you can go a little further. Then keep going, rounding down towards the floor. Nice. And then we go in reverse. Side bend to your left, look under that right armpit. And then come all the way up. Nice. Let go of the strap, set it to the side. Whew. Good little workout here. Go ahead and have a seat. You can sit on the floor, you can sit, or you can sit on your heels or sit cross-legged. Rest your hands to your thighs, close your eyes here, soften everything. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Good. Just notice how the shoulders, the arms, the sides of the waist and your back feel perhaps a bit more energized and with a bit more awareness. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed this class and had a fun and challenging time. I have a full library of videos with continual updates weekly, so I hope you can get a chance to check them all out. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time.